People always ask me, what does Die Hard really mean? Man, I just sit there. I just sit here on the edge of this river, Lumber River, whatever the fuck it's called. I just stare right on the other side of the bank all the time. And good morning, guys. Good morning. What's going on, America? And today, when I was staring on that other side, I was like, what would I do if there was just like a crew of bad guys on the other side? I fantasize like that a lot. And it made me think of like war scenes that we see in movies, old movies like Braveheart, where like the whole army, whole British army came up and waited at one field. Then all the Scotlards or Scotlands or whatever the fuck Scottish people were called back then came up and they waited right there. And it's like you see right across of who in about 5 or 10 minutes you're going to be engaged in mortal combat against. And that's how people used to fight back then. And we look at that and we're like, man, I'm so glad that war is different now. But is it? Is war really different? And I'm talking to you guys who've been in firefights, guys or girls who've been in firefights. Is it really that much different? Do you not see? Have you never looked directly across at the face of another person and known in 15 minutes I'm going to be fighting in Mortal Kombat? Maybe you haven't looked at the other person, but you know, in the USA military, you know, sometimes, hey, we're about to go do a raid. You know, you're sitting out at the helipad in Afghanistan, and they're like 5 minutes, and you hear and you know the Black Hawks are coming in 5 minutes. They're gonna be landing. You're gonna be getting on the Black Hawks rolling, and then in a 15-minute flight, you're gonna be off engaging in Mortal Kombat. And I want to tell my own. I'm trying to find a cool little spot to kind of rest here. I want to tell my own a firefight. You know, I've been in a lot of firefights, God bless. But I want to tell one that I wasn't in, and it's probably one of the most traumatic experiences. One of them of my deployment. So what it was I was an E5, and my best friend in that unit was an E5 from the other platoon. So we were both the go-getters, the high-speed assistant team leaders for the two best reconnaissance teams. My reconnaissance team in 1st platoon, and his reconnaissance team in 2nd platoon. And I mean, we were like this, Pat Lytle. You know, I mean, I used to go over to his house after work and ride his 4-wheeler, and you know, me and him, well, I was the Santa Claus and he was the elf at our company's Christmas party, and we went up and got drunk as fuck before the Christmas party, and just me and him have had so many good times. And he gave me a lot of good advice. You know, he was like a big brother because he was older than me, a little bit older than me. He'd already been on another deployment. I'd never been on a deployment. You know, he's giving me advice about girl palm. I mean, he's just a great guy. Great motherfucking guy. And we get to Afghanistan, and just so you know, I was in 371 reconnaissance, the very first one. I was in that unit when it was first getting started from the ground up. I helped write the doctrine for brigade level reconnaissance units, and as well as writing doctrines. I was an author, or am an author, for Call Center, the Army's Call Center, collection of Army's lessons learned, and the U.S. Army's Infantrymen's Hall. I have doctrines and essays and stuff in there. But anyways, we get to Afghanistan, and 3 weeks after we get to Afghanistan, our lieutenant colonel dies. The highest ranking guy in the whole unit gets killed. And I mean, just people are dying left and right in my unit. You know, we're killing people left and right. But anyways, and just this stuff happens. Some platoon sergeants get relieved, platoon leaders get relieved. They start, you know, they have the people are dying, so they cross-load and mixing teams and stuff. And what happens was I got pulled out from being the assistant team leader of my team, and I got put as the RTO for the lieutenant for the platoon leader at one time in our unit, and then I was the RTO for the company commander for missions and stuff. I did, doing a lot of radio work when they were in the bush and stuff for them, as well as, the RTO for company commanders, like his bodyguard, So I got pulled out of being an assistant team leader for my boys to go do some work like that. And while I got pulled out, they pulled Liebert, my best friend, out of his team from being an assistant team leader of his team to be the team leader of my team, because I was actually running or working as the team leader because our team leader got killed, just shit like that. So long story short, their first mission with Liebert, my best friend, my boys' first mission with my best friend was this really shady mission. It was a lot of talk, a lot of secret missions, a lot of secret talks. I mean, the sergeant major would come in and grab, the small kill team, talk to them, and go talk to the sniper guy. Like we didn't really know how important the mission was. And they get sent out, and they're marching, they're trooping, they're walking for like a week and a half. They were walking. And I remember the Sergeant Major Byers, comes and finds me. And he brings me out, and he has to talk with me. And he's like, how fast can you get 3 guys and assemble a 4-man kill team to go out and help your boy Liebert? And I'm like, I'm already thinking of some guys. And I'm like, yeah, I could probably, I could put something together. We could be ready as soon, by tomorrow morning. And he's like, but I'm going to be serious. You're going to have to walk. Your boy's going to have to walk. And I'm like, yeah, we got it. And he's like, I'll talk to you later. And he leaves. And it wasn't the fact that get a group of men be serious, you got to walk. Because, we're reconnaissance. We fucking walk. But it was the fact that, the fuck was going on? My best friend and my whole team has been gone for a week, and now the sergeant major is asking me if I can put together a small kill team. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, it was weird. And then that was night, and then later on that same night, like around like 11 or 12, I remember we were all sitting inside our hooch, or the room, laying on our beds and stuff, and the platoon sergeant comes in, and he's got his Kevlar helmet, his flag. I mean, he battle rattled out, and he kicks in the door, and he's like, they got him. I mean, he does like that, and he walks back out crying. Then he comes back in to start telling us again, and pretty much he keeps walking out crying, coming back, and he's trying to tell us that Liebert and his team have been hit, and they're all dead. Or they think they're all dead. They've been hit. They're under contact right now. They're surrounded by 160 guys, 4 men surrounded by 160 guys, and he's crying and stuff. So now we're all like, oh, what the fuck? And we're all putting full battle rattle on, and they're sending us out. And they're like, all right, the Chinooks are going to pick, one Chinook's coming. Everyone, the whole company is jumping in the Chinook. We're going, and it's going to be a hot LZ. As soon as the fucking Chinook door opens, you're going to be getting shot at. Don't stop running. Get off the ground, go. We gotta fucking secure these dead bodies. So we're like, what the fuck? This is a mission like no other. Like, we've been on missions where, like, all right, it's gonna be hot. We're gonna go fucking raid some terrorists, or, we're gonna, this or that. But this is a mission where we're pretty much told we don't know where we're going, what's going to happen when we hit the ground, where people are when they hit the ground, but all we know is there's bad guys already killing people on the ground, our people, and they're going to be trying to kill us as soon as the helicopter opens. And we're all just sitting out there, and you can hear shoom, 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 like the Chinook coming from far away, coming to get us. And you hear over the thing, and they say battle roster. They say, L1111 is KIA, and it's a battle roster. Your battle roster is your first letter of your last name and your last 4 of your social. Like, my battle roster would be H1018. And that's how they say it over the radio, so they can say one guy's killed and the people will look at the battle roster, But we all heard that. We heard that one guy was confirmed killed, and he was cut off from the other guys, and the other, and when eventually we found a lot of great guys died that night. But I remember we knew battle roster L111, or, I can't remember what the last 4 was, and we were all trying to figure out, because we're like, one of our boys is dead, we know that. There's a couple of boys whose last names start with L, and we're all trying to figure out who it was that died. And I just remember thinking, I was like, damn, this is real. Like, I've been in Afghanistan, I've been in firefights, I've been in a lot of shit, but it was like that night, shit was real. We were sitting there waiting for a helicopter to pick us up, knowing that it was going to drop us off at a high LZ, getting shot at, while there were people there already dead. I felt for the first time in my life, waiting for that helicopter to come pick me up, like I was one of those guys in Braveheart that was just sitting there, and I could look right across and I could tell in about 15 minutes, this shit's about to get real. And my best friend Liebert got shot in the face, point blank in the face. Jared Monty got blown up. Another guy got shot and fell down the hill. Jared Monty ran towards him to help him. Someone shot an RPG and his body got blown in half. And then the other guy got shot and he was still alive. And when the helicopter, or Black Hawk, or paramedics or whatever came to save him, one guy rappelled down, he hooked him up, and they rappelled him back up. But the Taliban was still steadily shooting at them and the helicopter, so the helicopter was swerving to not get hit, and it was making the rappel rope go whoof, 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 whoof. And eventually when both men, it was swinging whoof, so fast that their legs were like that, it snapped, and it threw both their bodies back, a couple, mountains over, and they died. So everyone died. And they died a horrific death. They got shot point blank in the face with AK-47s. They got blown in half with fucking RPGs. They got shot and slung by fucking rappels, it was a bad night. And the way I felt that night, I felt for the first time in my military career, or in my deployment, I felt like no one was coming to save me. No one would. I was gonna have to be my best friend, who was one of the most bravest, toughest guys that I knew, that if I was ever in this shit in the field, I'd be like, hey, you shouldn't lie with this guys. He was dead. We weren't even going to save him. We were going to go get his dead body. He was dead. And they're saying the LZ's fucking hot. They don't know what it looks like. They don't know where, it's going to be, And I felt finally in that moment, no one is ever going to save you. There is no backup. There is no ending. You see these awesome war movies where it's a crazy firefight, and then when that firefight's over, the movie goes off. That's not how it is. When the firefight's over, you go back and reload and go back out for another firefight. It's never gonna stop unless I stop it. No one's gonna save me. Only me. No one truly has my back, taking care of their own back. Shit is real. And from that moment on, very sad that all my friends died, got killed, and 80% of my unit, by the time we came back from Afghanistan, it was a 15-month deployment, died. And then the rest of the people, I'm literally one of the only guys left alive in my unit now in the year 2023, because almost everyone who didn't die, 80% of the unit died in Afghanistan, got killed in Afghanistan. And then when we came back, everyone else slowly started committing suicide, having drug overdoses, drunken driving wrecks. Just everyone died. It was like, on this anniversary of that firefight I described, people would kill themselves. People would OD. People would drink themselves and then drink and drive and die. And it was just this account has not even haunted me, but it keeps coming back to kill us. It killed a bunch of guys in our unit. It broke everyone's heart in our unit that all their friends died in that. Then after that, and after the war, a lot of people, myself included, weren't the same. And people just every year were dying off from that horrific memory. And it's just, for the first time in my life, I felt like I knew that 15 minutes from now, I was going to be engaged in Mortal Kombat for my life. And the only way I wasn't going to die was going to be stuff I did. And, that's bad. All my friends did die from that. It's bad. But it's changed me in a good way, because I die hard. Do it yourself. DIY hard now. I know that no one's going to help me, even if they want to. I'm not saying that people don't, but no one knows my inner needs as good as I do. No one knows my demeanor. No one knows my passion. No one knows my intent of what I'm doing as good as I do. So if I need help doing that stuff, I need to dig deep inside to help me, because no one's coming to help me. I am the backup. and you're the backup for whatever's going on in your life. So before, and I'm sorry that I had to use an analogy like a fucking horrific horror movie firefight, but before we sit there and cry and think, I'm gonna waste 20 minutes thinking about who can I call to get help, how can I explain? No one is gonna help you the way you're gonna help yourself. So I challenge you today, help yourself. God bless America. Thank you to all these brave men and women who have served gallantly and bravely. So glad the war on terrorism is over. I hope America can rest now, and our brave men and women can rest up, can review, can better train, and then next time someone fucks up and tries to fuck with America and we gotta go over there and shoot them in the face, we do it a lot better. But if you learn nothing else from this talk, no one is gonna help you as good as you're gonna help yourself. Die hard.